Hello friend, welcome to Spellbound Homestead. My name is Taylor. This is where Laura Ingalls meets Morticia Adams, and I'm so glad that you're here. Today is one of my favorite videos to make, and it is all about books. And so I'm going to be sharing with you some books that I'm going to be adding to my fall TBR, and I wanted to show you what I picked up and books that I hope to read. Fall is my favorite time of the year to read, and I'm so excited to dive into some of these. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and grab your cup of coffee, tea, or beverage of choice, and let's chat about it. All over the place today. We have a little bit of everything, so in no particular order, let's just go ahead and dive into some of these. First one we have is a collection of stories by Edgar Allan Poe. Of course, we know him from pieces like The Raven and Annabel Lee. So this book is just his short stories. We have stories like A Telltale Heart, The Pit and the Pendulum, which I love. The Pit and the Pendulum movie with Vincent Price. I highly recommend that one. It freaks me out, so I definitely recommend that. And Edgar Allan Poe is just like the epitome of spooky season. We have The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I have never read this book. This one is pretty short. This is like less than 100 pages, right at 82. I feel like this would be a good little just easy read in one little afternoon, and just something that I have always wanted to read and never had the chance to. So we have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This book is T. Kingfisher's A House with Good Bones. I picked this up at the library, I think around the time that it came out, and this book freaked me out. This is a Southern Gothic story, and basically what ends up happening is this woman has to go to her childhood home, and all this spooky ooky stuff starts happening. If you like Southern Gothic stories, this one is for you. This last year on my Kindle, and it literally changed my brain chemistry. If there's one book that I had to recommend to you in this video, it would be this book. Now, this is a horror book, so just kind of be forewarned. There are some, intense scenes, trigger warnings, because there are some, elements that are very adult in it. But this is A Slewfoot by Brom. This is about Abatha during the Puritan times. She has recently been married to somebody, and they are struggling on a farm whenever he suddenly passes away. And she is what they call a cunning woman. She does, like, all the remedies and folk remedies, things like that. And so she gives off the vibe as witch. I absolutely love this cover. If you look at it closely, you can notice something at the bottom here that I didn't notice at first when I first saw the cover until much later. There's also some artwork in here that shows some of the characters. So for example, this is Abatha. She is the main character. Like I said, this is set during like the Puritan time in Salem witch trial vibes, and so I highly recommend this book. So good and perfect for like spooky Halloween reads. Very much liked her note. We have The Sweetheart Fix. This is just a cozy small town fall vibe book. This one was kind of a cover buy for me, so just something a little bit different than what I normally read, so I have added this to the list. This one is Given Our History. This is about an assistant professor. It says that she has wanted to teach history since she was 14. She finally gets a job that she, has been looking for. It's like her dream job. And then all her plans kind of go out the window whenever she notices that one of the men teaching a class is somebody that she knows from her childhood. And it looks so cute. So kind of to go along with that, we have Can't Help Falling in Love. Look at the cute cover. It says, what happens when a fake engagement starts to feel real? I like those kinds of romance stories, like fake dating, close proximity. Those are just something that I enjoy reading, so I think this will be really cute and right up my alley. Also by T. Kingfisher, who wrote A House with the Good Bones. This is supposed to be another gothic atmospheric book. This is called What Moves the Dead. The cover is very intriguing. It says on the back, a gripping and atmospheric reimagining of Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher. So very curious to see how this is gonna go. This one also was very intriguing because of the cover. And also, I just noticed on the back here that the author of Slewfoot writes a little blurb. It says, T. Kingfisher spins biting, wet, charm, and terror into a tale that will make your skin crawl. Poe would be proud. So I'm very interested to read this one as well. My favorite stories at this time of the year is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. I definitely recommend that you just go ahead and check out that story on its own. It's also a really great audiobook. But because I love that story so much, I picked up this book because I was very intrigued by the title. This one is called The Spellbook of Katrina Van Tassel, A Story of Sleepy Hollow. So it says, when schoolmaster Ichabod Crane arrives in the spooky village of Sleepy Hollow, Katrina Van Tassel finds herself instantly drawn to him despite her family's wishes. And so, they're kind of brought together. And, I think this is supposed to be more on her perspective of how everything is happening, during his disappearance and things like that. So I'm very intrigued to kind of give this a whirl. I have another Edgar Allan Poe book. This is The Raven and Other Poems by Edgar Allan Poe. I just think that these are so fun to read during this time of the year. Just like short little, poems that you can read, little short stories. And so I'm really interested in trying to broaden my horizons and read more of his work, because I've only read, of course, the classics that we know, which is like The Raven, Annabelle Lee, The Pit and Pendulum. And so I kind of just want to expand my horizons with this one. Adult book that I have is The Invention of Murder, How the Victorians Reveled in Death and Detection and Created Modern Crime by Judith Flanders. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that she also wrote the book Christmas, a biography talking about how Christmas came to be. But this book is about, says, the fascinating exploration of murder in the 19th century. Judith Flanders examines some of the most gripping cases that captivated the Victorians and gave rise to the first detective fiction. So this just looks really fun. So detective fiction, the new police force, developed in parallel with this time of, big murders going on during the Victorian era. And so we have like Sherlock Holmes coming to, books and things like that, Jack the Ripper. All of these, murders that are occurring are kind of infiltrating literature and stories at that same time. And so I'm really interested to see how that all worked together, and how, like, the big detective stories like, Sherlock Holmes kind of came to be, and, how those murders sort of inspired, I guess, that genre of work of detective fiction. This book is a children's book. It's a classic. It's one of my kids' favorite books. It's so cute. We have Pumpkin Soup by Helen Cooper. All the little friends, the woodland critters in the forest, have come together to create pumpkin soup when one of their friends goes missing, and they discover what ends up happening. Such a lighthearted, fun read. Have a lot of cool and fun activities on a pair along with this story. If you have any books that you would like to share with me down in the comments below that you plan on reading this fall, let me know by leaving me a comment, because I love to chat with you about books. You guys give such great good recommendations, and I am always adding books to my list. Thank you guys so incredibly much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe on your way out, and as always, I hope you have a magical day.